Hello, and welcome to Twenties Aplenty and our continuing weekly campaign, the Headhunter Chronicles, a D&D adventure involving that met on the internet. This week, the group are set on a mission by an old acquaintance of Lucy's, and spend a lot of time looking over their shoulders. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. Either way, we'd love to know what you think, so please leave a comment below. And with that, we hope you enjoy today's episode.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe. We fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So, when last we set off, the group were mid-battle with a bunch of manticores. Xerath was looking in a bit of bother, but actually, as the battle went on, she managed to use some health spells and keep in the fight. Eventually, the manticores were defeated thanks to Amanita entangling one and launching some firebolts at it. I remember Varak unleashing lightning bolt and may have even used his breath weapon, I can't remember. Korsk used his pipes of haunting to put them in a fearful state, and Xerath dealt some heavy blows, and just for good measure, Lucy went in with the Old Faithful and Eldritch blasted them in the face. After the last manticore fell, the group harvested some of the parts. Once they'd finished that, Lucy also took the head as a trophy and a couple of wings and stuffed them into his trousers. At that point, they realised that their horse had fled and gone missing. And rather than going to search for the horse, the group decided that Amanita would turn into a horse herself and take the cart. But Korsk thought it was a good idea to use one of his elixirs to try and give her a bit of a boost, but she refused to drink it, not knowing what it was. Lucy decided to show her it wasn't going to do her any harm and drank it, and then decided that he could try and pull the wagon himself, and ended up digging himself into a big hole, doing a lot of running on the spot. Eventually fell over, and Amanita I would say took the reins, but I think that was actually Varak, and pulled the wagon off towards Sand City. And it took a couple of days between her and also Cleo, who had the same wild shape spell, to take the wagon all the way back to the city. Upon arrival, they thought they'd check in on their room at the cast-in and drop a few things off and change and what have you, maybe grab a bite to eat. When they got there, they come across the proprietor, Human, who was a little bit upset that they had left something in the room that had begun to smell, particularly with Lucy's room, Lucy, Cleo, and Marcus's room. He said it smelled as though something was rotten. This was a bit of a surprise to the group, who headed straight to the room to have a look what was going on. As soon as they opened the doors, a swarm of flies flew out of the room. The smell was disgusting and was indeed like rotting. On the table in the room was a Hessian sack, which was soaked in blood. Lucy went to inspect and found a rotting, severed head was in the bag. He couldn't tell whose, so he grabbed the hair and began to pull it out, realising that the blood had clotted and had stuck the face to the sack, so he had to kind of carefully peel it away. But once he'd done that, he realised that it was the head of the guard that the group had let go when they raided the pawnbroker tower to steal the diamonds for Maggot. As Lucy held up the head, Barak noticed something gleaming in the mouth. He took the head off Lucy, reached in and found inside was a single gold coin that had been somehow twisted. Across the forehead was simply written the words, "Game on." Shocked, the group decided that this was a warning and perhaps they shouldn't be staying at the castle any longer. So they went and settled their bill with Human, who agreed that they'd pay. In the end, he charged them 50 gold pieces and agreed he'd get rid of the head with no questions asked. And they decided that they would find a new place to stay once their business for the day was done. So the first matter of business was the group were a little bit fearful that, given the lead on the diamonds, was Egron himself, who was fixing the Ascension Crystal, and they had not heard, I had not tell all of him. They decided to go to the market square and pay him a visit. Egron was fine. He'd even said that he'd said that the Ascension Crystal was in worse shape than he expected, and therefore the repair was taking longer and would be up to 2 weeks in total. He said what's delaying it a little bit more is because it's taking so long, he's going to have to take other work so he can pay the bills. And in fact, he was getting work off Armand Coinscrew, who was the gang leader that the group stole the diamonds off. Confident that Egron was okay, the group then headed off to see Maggot, who was the one who effectively hired them to steal the diamonds. In exchange for Egron's fingers, of course, not being destroyed. When they eventually got to Maggot's gambling den, they saw him playing cards. He got his bodyguard Urk to sit in for a few hands, and you went to his office. He thanked the group for the information and their loyalty in letting him know. He did warn them to keep an eye out for being watched, because he said that Armand tended to hire assassins to do his dirty work, and they tended to watch their targets and observe their behaviour for a few days before striking. They discussed where the Assassin's Guild may be, and he said they were rumoured to be underneath the Temple of Osbrana, or some of its outbuildings, which he thought was hard to believe given that a sect known as the Black Paladins, or the Dark Paladins, were also based in the temple, and he didn't think that the Paladins and the Assassin's Guild would necessarily see eye to eye. They went on to talk about Armand a little bit more, and Maggot mentioned that he didn't think there was a silver bullet solution to the problem because Armand had his fingers in a lot of pies, and insinuated that if you take him out, you don't know who you're upsetting, and you might actually end up making your own life worse. The group then headed off to pick up some ingredients for Korsk's potions and alchemy. The group had a choice between going to Wondrous Wares or the potion shop, which they hadn't been to yet, but they opted to go to the potion shop because the gentleman at Hugo Paucurse, I think his name was, at the Wondrous Wares encouraged the group to go and see the Crag Dwarf armourer, but obviously didn't see eye to eye with Varric. They found a rather spaced out individual in the potion shop. They tried to sell him the bits from the manticores, the harvested parts from the manticores, but he just wasn't going to do a deal, really. Not for the price you were wanting for the bits. But while this distraction was going on, Korsk was putting some of his shopping list into his bag anyway and ended up getting half of what he needs. Oh, half of what he planned to buy, by the lad. The group then decided they'd go for a drink, because Lucy knew somebody who might have some information. And they headed to the Biscuit Barrel, where Lucy decided to go and see his uncle to ask about Armand Coinscrew. Uncle explained that Coinscrew was a businessman on the outside, but it was a front for him being a gangster. He's quite bloodthirsty, lacks honour, would happily turn on some of the other gang leaders, which isn't necessarily what the other gang leaders would do themselves. And he confirmed that, as far as he's aware, the Assassin's Guild are underneath the Temple of Osbrana. There was also some questions about the Assassin's Guild's contracts, and there was a bit of, I think this came from Korsk in the previous conversation that they had with Maggot, which was around, is there a clause in which the Assassin's Guild can break a contract? And in short, Uncle's answer was no. Payment was made up front, and then the contract was enacted, regardless of whether or not the person changed their mind. Lucy then went on to ask whether or not it was where would be a safe inn for them to stop, and Uncle advised them perhaps an inn isn't the best choice. Maybe as strangers to the area, they need to go to where other strangers to the area are, in an effort to look inconspicuous, and he suggested going to the refugee camp. The group headed off to the refugee camp, at which point Lucy heard a familiar sound, a ting, ting, ting of a hammer on metal. Then the group saw a small dwarven gentleman with a mass of blonde hair in the style of, I think is it Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Just a mass of blonde curly hair. And this blacksmith looked at Lucy in recognition and said, "So, what time do you call this then?" And that's where we pick up.
Lucy will look at him and go, dinner time?
Aye, well, maybe you should have been here for dinner a few days ago. But I thought you would have come running when you seen the letter, but maybe I should have pressed the urgency, or got Cameron to press the urgency. He's in the back. You want to go and talk to him?
I'll look to the others and say, well, shall we?
Sure. What's this for again?
We got a letter a while back from an old acquaintance asking to see us. Didn't seem urgent, but I guess it might have.
Do you care to share what was in the letter, or? Are we just gonna walk into this blindly? Because
There wasn't much in the letter.
no.
Was there? I don't think there was.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So it said, "My friends, I was pleased to hear you. I was pleased to hear you were in Catan. I hope you're both well, and that the absence of A, R, and M from your group does not mean they are no longer with us. Coincidentally, your arrival comes at a fortuitous time. I'm in need of aid. Sorry, I'll say that again. I am in need of aid in a little endeavor. If you would like to help support our cause, please ask at the blacksmiths in the refugee camp. KA."
Very cryptic. Is this a good endeavor, bad endeavor? Are we about to steal something or kill something?
Money's money, am I right? If as long as he's paying
No,
out. Man.
no. Money is not money. It's depending on how you get money. That is the problem.
What does it matter? These people
Because
could be evil. The people that were, whatever the job is, we could be doing something good for good people against evil people. And I think that is a just cause.
yeah, okay. So you think stealing and killing people is just?
Well, if it helps, last time we worked with this acquaintance, we did all right, and they were free fighters. So I think they were good people.
You wouldn't have had this. You wouldn't have had the pants of holding without that job.
That's very true.
Well, let's go meet your friends then, shall we? And I'll just like look Lucy up and down judgingly as he walks off.
So you the dwarf, whose name is Dunley Swifthammer, guides you into the back of the tent, past his furnace and things. And then he opens a door, like the door in the tent, just a flap, sticks his head in and goes, "There's no friend here to see you." "Oh, yes, send him in. Send him in." In you go. So you walk in and you see a rather haggard-looking version of Kemlin Aurelius sat at a table. He's a lot thinner than he was. His beard he's got quite a bit of a beard, and it's a bit unkempt, and he's still got the same kind of velvet waistcoat on that he had previously, but it is quite scuffed. And Lucy, please come in, and you have some new friends, I see. Forgive me if I don't get up.
Yeah, some new pals. This is Varric. He's good folk. Samanita, they're good folk.
Hello.
This is Zerith. They seem like good folk.
Okay.
And we also have our other friend here.
Horsk.
There we go. He's all right. He's good fun.
Very good. Well met, all of you. Forgive me for not getting up. I don't get around as easily as I once did.
Yeah, what's happened to you?
Well, Nicalians, after you left, I think a few days later, the Nicalians stormed our camp. I've no idea what happened to a good number of our people. Grak, after fighting bravely, managed to get away. I think for as far as I could see. Unfortunately, I took a sword to the Achilles. We got caught. Myself and Dunley got caught prisoner, and it went a bit gangrenous. So, unfortunately, we had to. He kind of moves out a little bit, and you can see that kind of just above the knee, his leg, his trousers are stitched up. He has had part of his leg amputated.
Resisting the urge to say he took an arrow to the knee.
Sorry?
Resisting the urge to say you took an arrow to the knee.
I used to be a freedom fighter like you.
Like you?
And then I took an arrow to the knee.
Oh, sorry. Derailing.
Did you not a healer?
Sorry?
Did you not go see a healer?
I was prisoner.
After?
There was no leg left at that point. It was me or the leg.
Right.
So...
Oh, actually, we saw one of your friends. Very jolly big man. I think he made the food.
Crack.
Yeah.
Half-orc.
I think so. He was working at this bar. He was security. He was bouncer. Let's be real. he was working the door, keeping out the riffraff and stuff.
Really? Where?
Elves Edge?
Lothenor.
Lothenor. That's the one.
Oh. Well. That is indeed good news. Oh. That's, do you know if there was any more of our number there?
Not that I know of. He wasn't sure what happened to the rest of you either, so it'd be good to send him a message. Let him know.
Indeed I may.
The name of the tavern had something to do with heads, I'm sure.
So not really. It was just known as the tavern, that particular one he worked at. But the proprietor built another one called the Hag's Head, which was in your honour. In the group's honour.
Yeah.
After they defeated the hag and delivered him the head. Also where they got the name the Headhunters from. But you know, I may be a few pounds lighter than I was, but our cause continues. We may be scattered, but we've taken league with a number of halflings. Halfling resistance. We were being transported with a number of them to High Fort for, I would only guess, execution or slavery. And they came in, and some of their friends raided the convoy, and they helped us get away. So, thankfully, I managed to sneak into High Fort itself and get a boat over to Scandi, and then from Scandi to Catan. So we're now trying to support their resistance movement, and unfortunately, they need equipment, and with the best will in the world, it's difficult to get hold of said equipment here without being able to oil the right wheels. Resources are short. Unfortunately, the local guilds are quite political, and perhaps we can afford their prices if the oils were wheeled. Wheels were oiled, even. There's a local society called the Brotherhood of Builders. A society that helps grease the wheels between the different guilds through favors of some sort. Backhanders, these sorts of things. I need to get in with that group. And talk was one of their members was actually murdered recently.
Hang on, DM, you've lost me. What group are we talking about?
The builders.
No, go back 2 seconds because I zoned out. What was he saying?
Right.
So sorry.
So just, I'll do the background bit. So, Kemlin was the leader of something called the Cause, which was not an Irish pop folk act, I would say. Doesn't have an R in it, Cause is in. And they were effectively the resistance in occupied Metataria, trying to free Lakestown. After the group, they were in league with somebody called Jettison Highstand. And Jettison Highstand was effectively playing both sides of the game. And he was in with the Nicalians, but he was also trying to help set up supply lines into cities and things like that. The group cottoned onto this and then decided to punish Mr. Highstand. And as actions have consequences, Mr. Highstand, this was also, as part of punish, they burnt down his mansion as well. Or should I say?
Okay, cool.
The priestess of the Temple of Dinara supposedly burnt down the mansion.
Right. Okay.
It was actually Lucy in disguise.
Good to know.
Nobody knows that. As far as anyone's concerned, the priestess did it.
Okay.
They took a high stand outside, and I think did you tie him up naked or something?
I didn't.
Somebody left him in an embarrassing situation.
Hey, sounds nothing like something this group would do. Yes, carry on.
Basically, he dobbed them into the Nicalians, which then ended up raiding the base camp of the Cause. They've all fled. Kemlin and Dunley, who's his blacksmith friend, decided that got captured. They got freed by a load of halfling freedom fighters.
I have questions about it in a second.
And then ended up through kind of sneaky, stealthy means, travel to Catan via Scandi, which is another continent. He's right. So that's the background of how Lucy knows his character and Marcus knows his character. So he has asked. So he's trying to supply weapons to these freedom fighters, and the Brotherhood of Builders are like a society, a business society. You think a bit like the Freemasons, I guess. They help each other out. You know, quite a secretive bunch, but they help each other out through.
Right. Okay, I'm with it now.
The problem there is that he wants in with them, but can't get in with them. So one of this group, the Brotherhood of Builders, has been murdered. Okay.
Cool.
And that's
I'm
where
with
we
it
got
now.
to.
Right. I'm with it. Sorry. Thank you.
So And I think if we can solve this murder, that would help my cause greatly. Of course, I'll put some coin, or what coin I can, towards the efforts. Maybe get you a discount at one of the armorers, maybe? Or one of the blacksmiths. Might as well use our position. I tell you you're part of our organization, then you will get the benefits of the arrangement.
Right. Well, we'll have to talk it over and see what everyone thinks. If you'll excuse us for 2 seconds, and then I'll just turn around and do a wee huddle. So, what do you think?
Well, it depends on what the benefits really are. If it's weapons, that's easy to come by.
Cheap weapon.
If it's entry to places, and that's
I
also
imagine
easy.
it's the entry to places. Like, I mean, look at Catan. Right? We're trying to get around. We can't do the things that we need to do. I'm pretty sure Alusa said something about going to the Sorcerer's Circle or something, or Korsk does as well. And we can't get access unless we make an appointment. So if this can get us a link into there, that might be.
Or have a sorcerer. That's just a suggestion, seeing as it's a sorcerer's circle.
It doesn't work like that. We went up to the door
You could
and
try. Have you tried?
yeah.
Right, and how did that go?
They said we need an appointment for at least 6 months.
I will say
Alright.
my idea nearly worked.
Alright, listen to what I'm saying. We've got our friend Coast that came from some weird wizard. Maybe the wizard has information and sorcerers that can get us into the circle, connections, link into each other.
Well, that's what this is as well. Why not just do this job and have multiple connections?
I don't know, I don't like the smell of this one.
So Korsk would probably tell you that he is in league with a certain member of the Wizards College. The Wizards College and the Sorcerer's Circle don't really get on. They have a tense relationship, is what I would say, rather than they don't really get on.
Case in point. So we got an inn at the Wizards College, and we can get an inn now, potentially, at the Sorcerer's Circle. I'm just saying, that's a win-win. We don't need to divulge or pick sides or anything like that. We simply have access to both.
And then look under at the bottom of my cape and go, what do you think, Cavalier? Do you want... He might give us shiny things.
I do like shiny things. But all this is just a bit too much for me. I don't understand it all.
Basically, somebody died and they want us to find out who done it. So that's... He just likes to talk a lot in fanciness.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
You have a
if
question.
someone killed your friend, wouldn't you want to find out?
That's true. That is very much true.
Yes.
And this is about making friends as well. If we can make friends with these groups, we can get access to different areas and different people who we can ask different kinds of questions.
And maybe we can see if we can sweeten the deal a little bit.
I mean, he did say that he would help us get some stuff from armories and all that. Maybe he can get us a deal with that weird guy.
Maybe. I'd much rather not see him again, but maybe.
No, I don't mean the wolf. I mean the magical were guy. The one who was very expensive.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I would like to see this magic guy. He sounds very interesting.
He's an ass.
What, you mean he's a donkey? A talking donkey selling wares.
Sure.
Right.
Anyway, Lucy, your call, in my opinion.
Well, we have to
I'm
hide.
game.
Maybe if you could provide us with shelter while we're here as well. Somewhere to stay that's kind of out the way of any
Question.
would-be assassins and things. Mm-hmm.
Can I, more question to DM, can I, while we're just standing here, make like an insight check on Matey Boy's intent? If that makes sense, what I'm trying to do.
Who, Camlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll away.
Unnatural 20.
Seems genuine.
Okay.
You gather that Lucy... Well, Lucy, do you trust him?
Yeah. You know, like, I don't not trust him.
Yeah. So you gather that Lucy kind of takes him on his word.
Alright. Well, let's see if he can give us some shelter and, I don't know, dust our track.
Okay. Turn back around and go. So it looks like we're thinking about helping you. One wee caveat, little extra bit. We're looking for somewhere to stay in this camp. If there's any way you could provide us with some inconspicuous lodgings, that would be helpful.
Inconspicuous, you say?
Yeah.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Great. Well, yeah, any details you can give us to help start off our investigation, I guess, would be helpful.
So, all I know is the person who was murdered was the treasurer of the society, a dwarf by the name Acro Greenhammer. He worked at the Catan Mint, smelting gold coins. The head of the Brotherhood is an international freight magnate known as Lucius Clot. He will be able to provide some further information. In fact, I believe he's looking for somebody independent to investigate it.
Would that name ring a bell for me?
Roll a history check.
Question.
Well, I'd say, and where would we find this person?
Oh, I'm rolling so well. 24.
You will find him. There's two places. You can either go to the he normally doesn't get his hands dirty, so I wouldn't recommend going to the docks where his headquarters are. He spends a lot of time at the Ministry of Freight, and he also spends a lot of time at the Ministry of Ale, which is the Brotherhood's meeting place.
I love that name, by the way. Ministry of Ale.
Yes, it is a tavern of sorts.
That's it. That's the plan. We're going to the Minister of Ale.
We're not
It's been
going
decided.
to. No, you can't always just solve everything with drinks, Dragonborn. It's not how it works.
Say that. But if he hangs out there frequently, then our problem is solved both by ale and by going to this place.
I do hate your logic, but you're somehow right. I rolled a 24, by the way.
Yes, you did. You've heard the name before. You don't necessarily know him, though.
Okay.
You've heard him mentioned when shipping and things like that has been kind of discussed in court, but the subject matter generally bores you, so you've not paid that much attention.
That's about right. Cool. Well, seeing as the
Okay, yeah.
that was an accidental roll. I am so sorry. My space bar is like on my iPad. Well, I guess let's go to the Ministry of Ale. So, said Dragonmon can have ale and maybe two birds and one stone. Is that the saying?
Yeah, sure.
I'll maybe meet you there.
Can I go with you, Lucy?
What are you doing, Lucy?
Well, I was going to go and see if I could get some more information about this ahead of time.
What do you mean?
Out of game, DM.
Yeah.
You know where I want to go.
Yeah.
But to save time, I don't mind if that's out of game sort of cut out.
Yeah, so you head back to the Biscuit Barrel. You inquire with Uncle. Uncle has certainly heard of the Brotherhood of Builders. He kind of sees it as them all being in for themselves rather than a greater cause. So he's kind of in a don't really want much to do with them, to be honest. But he didn't really give you much information other than they're full of backhanders and bribes and things like that to basically get good deals on stuff.
Okay. That's cool. That's all I needed to know.
Cool.
Okay. So I'll tell them what I was told, that they seem to be quite bribe friendly. Just if we keep that in mind when we go see them.
How much is a good bribe, though? Like, that's the question. Like, how much is too much and how much is too little?
My question is, why are we trying to bribe people? Have you ever tried actually speaking to people?
Yeah,
Like,
speaking to people
having
doesn't always get
proper
what you want.
conversations before going, hey, I want to be a bit sneaky.
No, we've tried the conversations and stuff. This is just, it's in our back pocket kind of thing.
Cleo's like, yes, I think the Dragonborn makes a good point, though. If you go too low, you risk offending. If you go too high, you risk being...
Targeted.
Indeed.
Why do you
Seen as an
encourage
easy
them?
touch.
Well, what would you take as a good bribe, Cleo?
I'm not one for material items. I would perhaps be bribed by something that is for the benefit of the world.
Yes, but
That's
you're a
what-
special case.
I mean, he makes a valid point.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what he's saying. Something not gold, but that is value to them. That could make something of their world better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
not encouraging bribing people, but
sounds
it's
like
just
you are
saying.
listening.
I'm not encouraging anything of that sort, my friend.
Okay. Well, we can't find out what they would like unless we go see them.
Exactly. And hey, if they accept the bribe, we can do what we want. Or
But remember,
quotation.
the key to a bribe is not to make it sound like a bribe, or they would probably not take it.
Hey, if they're open to bribes, it might just be a case of, hey, we want to do this. Here's money. And they'll be like, sure, you can do that. And we'll look the other way.
Business arrangement.
I'll just look at Cleo, just shake my head.
Well, I guess, are we heading off to the Ministry of Ale then?
Sure. And then we can check the docks afterwards. But,
Mm-hmm.
hey. Oh, not the docks.
The Ministry of Freight?
That's the one. Yeah.
The question, the out of game, did he sought accommodation?
Yeah, you
Okay.
he took you up on your word of inconspicuous, and you've just got standard tents, which are small, a bit kind of tatty. It's muddy outside. It's not the greatest place to sleep, but the ground is soft, and you've got a roof over your head. Just down from his particular tent, the where the blacksmiths is. So much so that you can smell the smoke, and you can hear the incessant ting, 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 like just of Dunley hammering away. You get the feeling that if you spend too long there during the day, at least, you're hoping he stops at night. You get the impression that you would go insane.
Okay. Cool.
So, where to?
I guess the House of Ale? Or Ministry of Ale, sorry.
I think we've got an outtake there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we can feed our Dragonborn friend some ale to see if he can make a bribe.
Okay.
Try to finish this up then I kind of take my flask out, unscrew it, and just kind of tan it, put it back in my pocket.
But can you not function without alcohol? That's an honest question. I'm not judging, I'm not thinking of judging, just a question.
No.
Alright. Okay.
Lucy, what's in the cup at the minute?
At the
Okay.
moment, it is, I think, your whiskey.
Can I have a refill?
Yeah, sure.
We'll just back and forward a little bit with that, just on the way to the House of Ale. Pre-game, pre-game is what it is.
Sorry. It's now the House of Ale, Wayne. I'm sorry.
House
No,
of Ale.
what?
It's
Yeah,
now the
it's
House of
an
Ale.
house of ale. It's definitely not the
House
house
of
of...
Ale. Ministry of Ale, sorry.
Ministry.
No,
of,
it's now the house of ale. Screw
House
it.
of Ale. Yeah.
Ministry. Of, so, Varric gets his drink topped up. You head out the refugee camp. Would you all do a perception check, please?
All of us?
Yes.
Big money! Yes!
Not great. 13.
Sucks to be you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
12 for me.
So as you're going along, you're looking around, like trying to make sure that nobody's following you. As far as you're aware, nobody is. You continue through the refugee camp, come out the south east side through the southern end of the west dock, then across a rickety old wooden bridge into the south dock, and then you follow the river along the dock along the river, and then till you're directly south of the gate on the north dock, you cross into the north dock itself and head into the market square. Could you all roll a perception check, please?
Oh, there's a bitch, Cameron.
say that, but I've rolled a 3, so I've got an 8.
16.
Okay. So, as you're heading through the gate, you see a gentleman with a brown leather hood of you just see the bottom of his chin due to the shadow, and he stood against the pillar of the gate, of the open gate, like at the side, the post, like the gate post, effectively, but concrete wall. And you get the feeling that you're being watched. You go into the market square. Amanita, you notice that you feel he's a bit suspicious. You turn and you look when you're about 200 yards down the road, and he's still there. He seems to have something in his hand. Something. When he clocks you looking, you realise it's a mirror, and he starts kind of like picking at his face, looking into the mirror.
With that, she will slightly, whoever's next to her, either Lucy or Varric, she'll slightly pull on your cloak but like be standing as still as possible, but yanking on their cloak.
Was Lucy's perception high enough or not high enough? No. Okay.
No. It's just Amanita Solace. You noticed the guy, but you didn't think. And you looked round, and you didn't. After about 20 meters, and you noticed he was just still standing there. You didn't seem to be paying you any attention. Yeah, you're right. As Amanita kind of looked around several times and noticed he was out the corner of her eye. He was watching you, and then started looking into this mirror.
She obviously pulled something in his cloak and then turned around and saw the guy holding something, and then she was like probably yanking on. Just like, guys.
What's up? You're pulling on my coat quite a lot.
Is there someone behind us?
Turn back and look to go see the guy.
She's like trying to speak out, but she's like losing her words.
Yeah, so I will add, the man didn't move. He still stood where he was. He just had a mirror, and he was looking, he was watching you. Didn't seem to be making any effort to follow you. At this point, when you've warned the others and you turn back round, the man is gone.
With that, she's just like completely froze over her. She's like, disappeared.
Don't worry about it,
You're right.
Amanita. It's fine.
Little. What's little one crying about?
I'm not quite sure. I think she saw somebody, but I don't see anyone around here.
Can I kneel down and look at? What is wrong, little one?
There's someone. They're watching us, and then it disappeared.
Okay. What does the someone look like?
I just saw him looking, and then
What form's Amanita in at the moment?
Fairy form, not mushroom. That's why she's panicking, because she's in her fairy form.
Do you want to sit on my shoulder? Away from everyone else.
I wish I knew where he went.
It's alright. You've got all of us to protect you. I'm sure he won't come close.
I think with Lucy hearing that and seeing that the guy is gone, he'll probably just keep edgy as we go.
As Varric's had a couple of drinks, Varric's not really... He's absorbing the information and it's going out the other ear. Is there any pet stalls, just as we're going through the market square, since we're here already?
Pet stalls?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just...
Not as such. But there are people selling animals for the purposes of cooking. So you have a number of caged hens, for example. You have like baskets of crabs and lobsters. And then there's a man who's got like a glass like jar, and it's got a ton of frogs in it. Yeah, that's, and then you see like other people selling kind of donkeys and kind of beasts of burden, but not the kind of beast of burden that would pull a cart, for example. Well, pull a wagon, for example.
Like saddlebag kind of stuff.
Yeah, it would be one to carry stuff. So, there are asses, and there is one camel. It looks a bit miserable. It's got the hump. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Jesus Christ!
Seeing
God damn it, wait.
Seeing the guy with the jar of frogs. Go to the guy with the jar of frogs. How much for a frog?
Well, one frog.
I mean, 2, sure.
2 frogs.
Yeah.
You're going to get a decent meal with that.
Sure. I love to eat frogs, but I'm just trying to find different frogs that I can eat. So, what kind of frogs are these? And I'd like to take 2.
Just frogs, ain't they? From round the river. Okay. 50 coppers. 2.
I hand him a whole silver piece for 2 frogs. I would like 2
hang on
frogs.
a minute. 50 coppers is 5 of these.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Excuse me. I'll hand you 5 silver.
Thank you. Would you like a bag?
Uh,
Have you got like a little container to keep them in?
Emily, so then, guys, like says, she's like looking at some of the jars on the store and turns around and goes,
Lucy's got some jars. We'd stolen from that castle place, remember?
We bought them, yes. Yeah, we bought jars. Lucy, can you pass me a couple jars, please? Or a jar? Thanks.
Sure.
Anita then turns back and goes back to mimicking the frog. Just like puffing her cheeks out.
Just throw the frogs in here.
Question. While they're doing this, can I have a little look around if said gentleman is still following us?
Could you do a perception check, please?
Of course.
I hand the guy 1 gold piece and I assume I get change from that.
You have no idea.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you saying? You can
I have to hand him a gold piece because I don't have enough silver on me. So I hand him a gold piece and I would get... Is it...
You get
5 silver back.
5 silver back, yeah.
Lucy, while handing over the jar, will also still be keeping edgy. Does he see the guy?
No.
Okay.
He's bloody busy, is all I would say. There are a lot of people looking in the direction of that market stall, but you don't know whether or not they are looking at the stall or looking at you.
But I see a lot of people looking at the stall.
You see a lot of people looking in your direction and the stall direction, yes.
Right, in the opposite direction of us, I will create the coin noise again. Do all of them turn to look, or does anyone not?
I would say about half of them do, half of them don't. So it's probably about 20 people, and about 10 of them look around.
Okay.
Some of the ones that don't look around go to their own coin purses.
Are any of them that just don't? That just keep looking at the...
Not noticeably.
Yep.
Can we figure out what they're looking at without asking one? If that makes sense? What I'm asking, can we kind of figure out what they're staring at? If it's us or if they just generally standing looking at stuff?
They're quite a distance away. They're just looking in this direction.
I think we're good.
Well, thank you kindly, sir, for those frogs. I will be sure to enjoy eating them.
Wait. Did you just... Not gonna judge. Not gonna judge.
Joy.
I promise myself not to judge.
How would you recommend cooking them? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, rub a bit of garlic on them, a bit of oil, and the legs is where the best meat is.
You're not eating the frogs. If you eat them, just eat them where I can't see you.
Don't worry, I will be sure to eat them elsewhere. Thank you for the information on how to cook the frog. I'll be sure to give that a try.
I don't know what the problem is. I mean, it's just like eating anything else. Chicken.
Exactly.
Lamb.
Exactly, Zerith.
Horse.
I look visibly icked out.
Anyway, guys, let's keep on moving.
Why did you buy the frogs in anyway?
As we had a written stall.
Walking and talking.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to eat them.
You just wanted a pet frog.
Yeah.
Do they have names?
I've not thought about it yet. I will let you know by the time we get to the
House of Ale?
House of Ale. That's not the House of Ale.
Ministry of Ale.
Ministry of Ale. There we are.
It's the House of Ale. Shut up, voice in the sky.
The governmental buildings area, you know.
I couldn't think of the word. I had ale, and that was
Ministry of
it.
Ale.
I apologize. This is my fault.
Shut up, voice in the sky. This is our game now. Look at me. Look at me. This is my game now.
So I guess we'll head off.
So you head through the market. You come out the main market square, and as you head north towards governmental buildings, the streets begin to die down a little. It's got to the point where it's not that busy anymore, and as you can hear your footsteps echo down the road on the cobblestones. Could you all roll a perception check, please?
Hey, good roll. 16.
Perception.
My one's probably too busy distracted with the frog.
11.
So, is that everybody?
You think you're distracted? Lucy rolled a 6.
My one's distracting you. Big.
Is somebody rolling for course?
I will roll just a d20. I don't know what his modifiers are. I don't know if he's
No.
still-
I think his character sheet is actually in Roll20.
Let's have a look. Of course. There we go. Character sheet. Yes, found it. Do you want to roll? Or shall I just click the character sheet?
Click the character sheet.
I can't see the character sheet. What are we rolling? Perception.
Perception. Do.
Oh, now everything's broken.
Sorry, I rolled it as well. He's got a no modifier for it.
It's okay. It's okay. Why is... Oh,
Anyway, as you're going down the streets, Varric, you think you hear footsteps behind. And you look, and probably about 100 meters down the road, you see the flash of a dark figure head down a alleyway. You just see it for a second, and it's so brief that you're not quite sure whether or not it was a person or a cat or something.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not drinking. I must be out of habit.
good.
I kind of just rest my hand on one of my daggers. Just not like grabbing it like tightly or anything. Just like resting my hand on it. Just keeping it close.
So you continue down another couple of streets, and you find yourself in the Governmental Buildings district. As per the last few times you've walked through that district, or the last time you walked through that district, there are guards on every single street corner, watching you intently.
Lucy will wave.
Make a drawing, darling. It will last longer.
Dominita's still got the one of the jars of the frogs and stuff.
I'm gonna name you Varric Jr.
That's I like that. Yeah, you can. I tell you what, Emily, you can have that frog. That is your frog, and you can look after him or it. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna keep this one and call it. I still haven't thought of a name. I'll come up with one though.
What about Lucy Jr.?
Maybe.
Varric Lucy Jr. That would be good.
Yeah.
What color's the frog?
What colour's the frog?
Yeah.
So I would say they're both green. I would say the one with that Amanita has like orange flecks on it. The one that Varric has, it's the same breed of frog, but his flecks are more yellow.
Lucy Jr. it is. That's it.
Interesting. I like that we're being watched every step of the way. It's almost like some people not trusted in the city. But I'll say it loud enough so the guards can hear me.
Just out of character. What happened last time we were in the government district? Is this where Coinscrew's building is? Or was?
No. So you basically, I can't remember why you went through it, but you walked through it to get to the temples in the first time you were in, and you were watched all the way. And you did notice last time that anybody that left the main thoroughfare and the main roads was questioned. So you continue on a little bit. Could you all do a perception check, please?
Come on. Big money.
14.
1!
Critical!
So Doesn't necessarily mean success. It means a hit when you're fighting, but doesn't necessarily mean a success. As far as you are aware, anybody following you? You are obviously being watched, and people generally seem suspicious in that area of the city, but you don't feel as though you're being singled out or followed.
I'll just be cheeky. I'll, with my little purple bit that hangs out of my armor, I'll like flip it up to the hilt of my blade and like put my arm on it. I just like wander through, just casually. Oh, bye, Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Yeah. Cool. So,
I love that you go, oh dear.
who may? Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear. It's with having kids. It's just like, oh dear. It's like whoopsie daisy type of thing. Whoopsie daisy turns into oh dear when they get to a certain age.
Yeah.
Oh dear from then on. And shit turns to sugar.
Or then when they get to a certain age, just shit.
And for fudge's sake.
For fudge sake.
So, we get to the, you continue on, and kind of in the quite central to the governmental buildings district, you see an old timber-framed red sandstone building with gold lettering across one of the timber frames saying the Ministry of Ale.
This is Ministry of Ale. I don't know if it's the House of Ale, but maybe they know where we need to go.
Maybe we can sit try it.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, that's it.
So, you walk into the Ministry of Ale. The general kind of timber-framed theme continues inside. The walls are unpainted, so it's just red sandstone. There's thick green carpets on the ground, on the floor, and kind of like everything else is kind of walnut. Just like a walnut kind of bar and furniture. In there are a number of silver cloaks, I think they're called, aren't they? The Emperor's Guard, basically, that you've seen on the streets throughout. They're notable by their shiny armor and light grey cloaks. A lot of them are sat, nursing a beer, playing dice. Behind the bar, there are a number of brass ornaments and a very smartly dressed lady who's probably in her 50s. Dark brown hair with a streak of grey through it. She looks quite prim and proper. As you walk in, the place goes silent and everybody looks at you.
Well, seems that we made an entrance. Can I help anyone with anything? And I'll just do my little...
When she says that, Lucy will just sidestep away.
I too sidestep away and I kind of cough.
Everybody, the hubbub rises again, and everybody gets on with it. The lady behind the bar looks at you expectantly, smiling. Hello. Welcome to the Ministry of Ale. May I assist?
We buy ale.
You may. You may.
What's the largest quantity of ale I can buy?
1 pint. We sell it in pints. You can buy multiple pints if you wish, but they will only be in pint tankards. Silver
okay.
pint tankards at that.
All right. Well, who wants a round?
I'm going to go check out this game. And Lucy will just... But he said, yes, 1 for me. And then goes off.
Amanita, you want a drink?
I would say Amanita's literally just wandered off. Before you even noticed, you've turned around and she's gone, like, for a wander.
Oh, don't forget you have Cleo and Korsk with you as well.
Of course, Cleo. Anything to drink? Zearth, you want anything?
No, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
I will hold back, thank you. Korsk will have a drink, I would expect.
Oop, that's 2 pints for Korsk and 4 for me. No, wait, how many of there are those? No, I'm 1 for Lucy. 2 for Lucy. 2 for Lucy. So,
Wait.
2 for Lucy, 2 for Korsk, 3 for me.
Wait.
That's what it is.
Where's our little friend?
Who? She's got mini-me, she can't be wandering off, and I kind of look around.
Well, she is not here, and I don't fancy losing her. Not gonna lie.
Can you find her, please, Earth? I mean, I would, but I've got all these drinks to attend to. I can't leave them on the bar. Somebody will take them or something.
Remind me next time to put something on her so I can't fucking lose her again, and I'll start looking for her.
You can't miss her.
Punch and Dragonborn in a minute.
How much is all the ale I'm buying?
Oh, so how many ales is that in total?
2, 3, 2. So 7. 7 pints.
Okay. That'll be 35 gold pieces, please.
Oh my days. Oh, my heart. Ow.
Upon hearing that, Lucy will come back and go, maybe just 1 and 7 glasses.
No, it's 1 pint each. So that's 1 for Lucy, 1 for me, 1 for Korsk.
Do you know what? I'm alright.
Very well. That'll be... What are we saying? 15 gold? The 3?
Oh, you're hurting me. Sure, I'll give you 15 gold. Is it 5 gold a drink?
Well,
Ouch.
Oh, so we got to pay the rent, haven't we? It's an expensive area, this. Our clientele expect a certain quality of ale. It takes a while to prepare.
I hope it's worth it. Kind of pitching the money, hand 1 to Korsk, hand 1 to Lucy. Sadly look over my 5 gold piece drink.
Lucy will be doing a certain thing, and you'll hear him mumble something under his breath before taking up a pint to his lips. That is slightly less than it was when it was handed to him.
Well, good day to you.
Yep.
She goes off and busies herself.
What a rip-off.
Is Zereth still looking for Amanita?
Yes.
Okay. Do a perception check, please. On initial glance, you can't see her. Oh, we'll switch to Lucy. Lucy, you said you wanted to watch them play dice.
I want to join in, if I can.
So, you see 2 guards playing dice.
I was like, hey, what's this? Got room for one more?
Playing dice. It's a fairly serious game, and it's part of a league. So, unless you're part of the league, no.
I might
Sorry.
be.
What regiment you in?
Reserves.
Fuck off. And then he rolls a couple of dice.
Okay. Bang. Go back to the others.
Good. Zirith, do another perception check, please.
Seconds! 2 seconds! Perception.
Just for everyone's aware, those 2 guards are now on Lucy's revenge list.
14.
Okay. So, after 5-6 minutes of thinking, of searching, and you're getting quite worried, you eventually spot her sat on one of the side chair, the chair that goes around the room. It's like a bench thing, against the wall, cushioned. You see her sat there, swinging her legs backwards and forwards, showing a couple of soldiers her frog. And as you approach, you get one going, oh, it takes quite a bit. And believe it or not, you use like really fine. You got to like keep giving it a good sand every day, and then a bit of polish. And yeah, I mean, we use beeswax with a couple of other things added, and and then finish it off with a bit of spit and polish. It's good. It's good. It's a lot of hard work, but it looks good in the end. Don't you think?
It's shiny. I do like shiny.
Your frog's quite shiny, isn't he? And you just
Is?
you get the impression that you might want to. You get the impression that he's kind of being quite sweet to her, if you know what I mean, like the 4-year-old child that would come and ask questions stuff, and he's just kind of like fatherly, answering 20 million questions to this fairy that has just randomly gone up and start asking him stuff, and he is sat there going, one thing though, you might want to go and put a hole in the lid of your jar, just so we can, because if you leave him in there and it's sealed, he might not be able to breathe after a while. He might run out of air.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I better go do it.
Yeah, go and ask one of your friends.
I'll just over his shoulder, I'll just flip my dagger and hand it with the blunt side to her.
And then he looks at you in disbelief, going, how about I do that for you?
No, I can do it.
She takes
Don't stab the throat. Oh, Jesus. I did not
Like
think
threw the jar into the front.
I'll lean like this. I did not think this through, my friend. Just give me the jar and give me the frog and give me the blade and I'll do it.
No.
Don't stab the throat.
She goes like that, but then slightly just does that. So everyone's expecting her to do that, but she slightly does it.
there. I can't be careful.
Blade,
I
Please.
do look after animals, you know.
Blade,
She
please.
hands the blade.
Now that we know where you are, enjoy your shiny little soldiers, and I'll wander back to the other.
Lucy, who are we looking for here again? Just out of curiosity. I am drinking quite a lot at this point.
Sorry, I was typing it to Wayne, but I'll just say it out loud. Lucy, upon seeing this, gets a wide-eyed look of worry, grabs his dagger, and then starts digging in his pants with it. And then after
What you doing?
puts the dagger back. Sorry, what were we saying, Varric? Sorry.
Lucy gets a weird look from some of the soldiers, almost wincing.
He will sort of sigh and go, okay. Oh,
Does
sorry,
he
what were we
turn-
saying, Varric?
Has he turned away now? Has he walked away?
What, the guard or the?
No, Lucy.
Yeah, so he was over the other end of the bar. He's heard what was going on. Decided that he knew something. Zirith, I'm guessing, has walked away.
Well, we'll look around, make sure that they've gone. Now that she's no longer got the dagger again, it's just like she then takes her hat off and pulls out the dagger out of her hat and continues quietly putting her hole in.
Okay. So you, how are you doing it? Are you just trying to put it through the top of the jar, or are you taking the lid off and then trying to pierce
She
the
would
lid?
take the lid off and she would take the lid off and then literally hand the jar to the guard, like not giving him a chance to think, putting his hand over the top of the jar and go, hold this, and then would use it on the table and just like dig a few holes.
So he's kind of like, so what brings you and your friend to this place? You're not the normal sort of clientele here.
Don't know, I just follow them lot.
All right, okay. What sort of things do you follow them into?
All kinds of things. I'm merely just joining them. I've got a mission of my own.
All right, okay. And what mission's that then?
That's a secret.
You were saying you'll go back to piercing the hole.
You know, I'm good at keeping secrets. You could tell me.
No.
He scored a 5 on persuasion, by the way. Okay. Just thought I'd ask. So what are you doing in the Ministry of Ale? It's a bit of a funny place for a fairy.
Amanita! And
And with that, she don't give him a second. She snatches her frog back, puts the lid back on, and runs over to Varric. Varric Jr. can breathe now.
he can breathe? What do you mean he can breathe?
Well, you didn't put a hole in the lid.
Oh, you're right. Take out my dagger. Look at my frog in his jar.
It's probably that.
Hole in the thing. Suffocated. Hands on the throat.
So at this point, let me just read something. The guard's kind of looking quite uncomfortable as he kind of looks at Lucy, who had been staring deathly at him from across the room, listening into what was being talked about. He just kind of gives you a little bit of a wave and then continues drinking his drink and talking to his friend who's the other side.
Thanks for finding my little friend here. She just wanders off sometime. I really appreciate it. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about what's brought you here.
Oh, just work. We're trying to be ale merchants, and we're trying to find the guy in charge of the establishment so we can ask him about purchasing barrels of ale and beginning a bit of trade within Catan and stuff. But you know how it goes.
Well, maybe it's not a guy that runs a place. Maybe it's a lady.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, guy is a general term. Excuse that. Sorry.
It is the lady there.
Who?
And he points at the lady behind, the prim and proper lady behind the bar.
Her?
Yeah. Her name's Pruda.
Pruda. Right. Well, thank you very much. That is very good information. If anything goes wrong, I'm sure I'll relay it back to you, good sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Question.
Yeah.
Ignore said cat dragon on my shoulder. Do I see anybody or anything out of place, excluding our lot?
I mean, most of the clientele are soldiers. There are side rooms which seem to have people doing business in them.
Okay. But nothing out of place.
Nothing out of place.
Can I take a wander outside and perch is probably the wrong word, but kind of lean against the wall, just having a look. Think about somebody going out to have a smoke. That's basically what I'm doing.
Okay. So, you will notice that beside the inn is an alleyway. There are two guards posted at the edge of the alleyway.
Okay.
There's other guards posted outside the building opposite.
Okay.
And then about 50 yards down the road either way on the street corners. Probably about 10 or 12 guards in total.
What's the weather like? No, that's a legitimate question. Don't laugh at me, Cameron.
And how's the weather? Just
That's a proper British question, isn't it?
The weather is fine. Sunny spells. A few clouds in the sky.
wind of 13 miles per hour. And
Okay, and then couple of clouds. And then what time of day is it? Sorry.
It is, I think, it was going on by Lucy's time of it's lunchtime when you got to the, not sure if that was the case or not, but when you got to the refugee camp, I would say it's probably about 3 p.m. now.
I had no idea, but he asked me what time it was, so I just said dinner time. Just
Yeah, it is probably, actually, it's probably more like 4 or 5. Given the amount of stuff you've done earlier in that day. I'd imagine you arrived at Elves Edge reasonably early on that day.
Sorry, my Discord just decided to disconnect and reconnect. But hi.
Hello. I didn't notice you'd gone, to tell you the truth. I was talking away answering your question.
No, that's fine.
I think it's about 4 or 5 o'clock.
4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Bear with me 2 seconds.
Given the amount of stuff you've done that day.
Cool. I'll just stand there for a bit. Looking.
Okay. You want to do a perception roll?
Yeah. Finally! 21! Sorry!
You see nothing worthy of note.
And next time when there is something, it's going to be an actual 1. Love my life.
Maybe so.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
back inside the tavern then. What do the rest of you guys want to do?
Well, if she's the owner, maybe she knows where the man we're looking for might be.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a logical choice.
Okay.
Should we go have a word then, I guess?
Sure, but you take the lead. I need to make sure my frog's not dead.
Okay. So just checking, are we being nice in this or not?
Be nice.
I think we've just got a title for the episode though. You take the lead. I need to make sure my frog's not dead.
Okay. Nice it is.
So you walk up to the lady and she's like, 3 more ales, is it?
Not quite yet. I had a question for you.
Yes.
We're looking for somebody. I was just wondering if you maybe knew if he was here or where we could find him.
Who are you looking for?
Is it a man called Lucius?
I know plenty of Luciuses. Could you be a bit specific?
Lucius Colt. I think he's a freight magnet.
He's a fridge magnet?
Freight magnet.
Oh, I was going to say, what's a fridge? Okay. I know a Lucius Clot.
That might be the one.
Yes. He's, he's in one of the side rooms. The third one from the left.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's got any company at the moment. He might.
We okay just to knock? Or...
Yes, just knock and see if he wants to have a chat.
Great. And the friend in the shiny armor, they wanted to place an order for another 3 pints, so they should pay you when they come back in. And then I'll just head over to knock.
Oh, okay. Very well. I'll put it on their tab.
Fair.
So you go over, you knock. Who is it?
Hi, sorry, we were looking for Lucius.
You found him?
Hiya, my name's Lucy. This is Varric, I'm Nita, and Corsic. I don't know if Cleo's still with us or not. And Cleo, nice to meet you.
Yes.
We heard you were the man to speak to.
I'm the man to speak to about a lot of things. What specific are you looking for?
It's to do with a certain group.
Can we come into the room? Sorry, are we allowed to step in? Can I just kind of make my way into the room a bit? I would suggest that we discuss this in private. I don't think it's wise to disclose what we're talking about in public.
By all means, come in, but be wary that the door is being watched.
Of course, yeah. By all means, we're not here to cause a ruckus or anything like that.
Good. I just wanted to warn you, just in case you were up to if you were up to nefarious ways. Now, what can I do for you?
Yeah, close the doors, everyone's in and stuff like that. We were informed that one of your friends was unfortunately murdered, and we're seeing if you need assistance in finding out who done it. We heard you are potentially hiring privately.
That I am. There is a reward of 2,000 gold coins for anyone who can solve the matter of Acro's murder. You see, Chief of Police is a member of the Brotherhood of Builders. Well, the Chief of the Guard, I should say. I don't think it's beyond his means to have committed the murder. Therefore, it feels a little suspicious to have him investigate. Whilst he probably wants to keep Brotherhood business within the Brotherhood, I suspect if he is up to something Machiavellian, then I'm not quite sure the right person will go to jail for this or be punished for this. I think we need somebody independent. As I say, solve the crime, provide me with evidence, 2,000 gold coins.
Sounds like a fair trade. What about, 2,000 gold coins is great. I'm not one to turn that down, but we're hoping for some ease of access into certain areas of Catan and to meet with certain peoples. And I think assistance in that would be much appreciated as well, on top of figuring if that would be all right.
Certainly, if somebody was looking for membership of the Brotherhood, then we could make such arrangements, but certain business would need to have, the certain person would need to have some sort of title, or I would or official office. I would suspect none of you have such office.
Hey,
We have titles.
Such as?
Oh, you want them now? Oh, okay. Well, there's he who finds needles in haystacks, Lord of the Magic Pants, he who roused the thunder. I believe there was another one as well. But yeah, we have titles.
Yeah, I sent you a thing. Yeah. Needle in haystacks. I remember that one.
Yes, so you don't know where they've gone.
No, it's fine. I would just like to note that's where I am.
So, Nels just said Zereth has walked back into the bar, but
Looking extremely confused.
You're just thinking, God, I've lost them. I've lost somebody. I've not just lost the Amanita. I've lost everybody.
the whole group's gone.
Where are they gone?
Is it me?
And anyway, Lucius is like, It's not quite the title. I was, some sort of official office, like
Sorry, you broke up there, Wayne.
some sort of official title like Lord or Governor, is what I mean.
Does it have to be within Catan City?
No.
I think you will find one of those was Lord of the Magic Pants. So we have filled your
A lord of
criteria.
sorts.
Unfortunately, the land of Magic Pants is not recognized by the Catan city government.
What about Dragon's Foot?
Possibly. Though such an arrangement would be difficult. We do have a prominent member who is a crack dwarf.
Ah,
That's
sure.
so. No offense, but one of your kind may find it difficult if he has veto.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, it's not like it matters anyway.
So. However, if you can find somebody of such office, a patron, as it were, then I may be persuaded to arrange access for one of their associates to the Sorcerer's Circle or something similar.
Do they have to hold office in Catan?
That's what I just asked. No, they
Oh.
don't. They don't need to hold office in Catan.
We technically do. And Lucy will just turn and look to Cleo for a second and go, maybe have a patron?
I would imagine that's what our friend Mr. K.A. I believe he was of good stock, as you humans say. I think he would be a worthy patron that would be respected by the Brotherhood.
Well, just in case, I was thinking maybe of Our Lady friend. You know, the one that gave us a house.
Yes, but Larissa isn't here to vouch for our Larissa isn't here to vouch for our credentials.
Fair enough. Well, I guess we could try Kemlin.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
And I'll turn to him and say, what about Kemlin Aurelius? Would that do?
Governor turned. Well, I suppose there's some legacy there. He would be an acceptable patron. So, very well. Shall you solve this issue? I will put my support behind Kemlin's application for membership of the Brotherhood. And I will also ensure that the wheels are greased to enable you to gain access to a member of the Sorcerer's Circle, not the Sorcerer's Circle themselves. They are far and wide, and only meet at certain times at certain times. I'm aware of at least one that is in the city at the moment, and will be for the next week or two.
Can I check? I know we're just investigating here, but say we investigated enough to find out who done it, and then they tried to attack us, and then we killed them. What would happen then? Just as a hypothetical.
I would find it hard to imagine the killer or any of the suspects would have the bravery to strike you all down, or ability to strike you all down. I think they would more cower away, but in theory, if it is an act of self-defense, then I'm sure the guards would look on it with sympathy.
Cool, just check. So where would we start?
So, a little bit of background then. So, the victim's name is Acro Greenhammer. He worked at the Catan's mint, smelting gold coins. The head of the local guard, Kuma Snatchcopper, another dwarf, because Acro's a dwarf, is one of the suspects, as I'd mentioned, and therefore I don't want him anywhere near the investigation, although he is undertaking his own investigation, and will probably be coy in the results of his inquiries. Acro's body was found in the alleyway, outside. There's a couple of guards there. If you tell them I sent you, give them this. And he throws, it's like a little silver coin. And it's just got a brick stamped into it. You show them that, they'll let you in to investigate. Don't let them have it. And keep that close to you. Now, so his body was found in the alleyway. That was after the night after a meeting of the group. The body is currently in the militia headquarters, or the town guard headquarters, in the barracks district. Should be able to gain access with the same coin. Acro, what can I tell you about him? Well, he lived alone. He had an apartment above an art gallery in the market quarter. During the meeting of the night of the murder, a debate had been had between Kuma, Acro, and the local weapon master, a Crag militia, and around the Crag militia, a Crag dwarf, and the it was around the militia and the supply of weapons and the price that they were paying the Crag dwarf. Crag dwarf, whose name is Upcut Strong Axe. He's the local armorer in town, so weapons master in town, so you should be able to find him. So, the Crag Dwarf was quite vocal in the debate about us subsidizing the weapons. And Upcoat and Kuma, the guard, the sergeant of the guard, almost came to blows. Also present were the other members of the Council of the Brotherhood, a local art dealer known as Belle de Baal, a well-to-do halfling lady. She calls everybody dearie. And Hugo Paucus, the proprietor of Wondrous Wares. I think that's a summary of where we are. Any questions?
Let's go. Yeah, sorry. So, could you just repeat all of those suspects' names?
So, the head of the guard is Kuma Snatchcopper. He's a human. There is a well-to-do halfling lady called Belle de Baal, who is a local art dealer who calls everybody dearie. Hugo Paucus, the proprietor of Wondrous Wares, and Upcut Strongaxe, the Crag Dwarf weapons master. The body is in the local morgue. The murder scene is in the alley next door. And his home was an apartment above the art dealers, run by Belle de Baal.
Chris.
Any further questions?
I don't have a question. I've given my stance and my origin. I don't know if it's a good idea for me to particularly go see the Crag Dwarf armorer man, Lucy, so I think I'll go with you, but I'll stand outside, if you know what I mean.
That might be wise.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see you when we have information.
Good luck with your investigations. Oh, yes?
Where will we find you? Once we find information, where should we find you next? Are you just going to stay here, or are you...
Yes, I tend to frequent this particular room. I get most of my business done here, one way or another.
All right. Well, that's fine. We'll just see you here.
Very well.
Next time.
Freight and the Brotherhood are both about keeping wheels turning.
That's good to know. Hopefully we can get this wheel re-turning, fixed so it can turn again or something. There we are.
Indeed. So, I will leave you to your business. Or you will leave me to my business, I should say. Good luck.
Sure. Bye. Just...
Picks up a quill, dips it into his an ink pot and starts writing something as you leave him. So, in the meantime, Zirith is looking quite confused, panicked, thinking she's possibly been abandoned. Self-analysing what has she done to offend people.
Yes, me?
And then she sees the rest of the pile out of this room.
Well?
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 When I'm saying well, you're supposed to explain where you've been. That's how communication works.
Oh,
I
right.
want to play a game where we all just say well and then
Well.
see who stops. I love
I like
yes,
that game.
yes,
Me
it's
too,
a game.
Amelia.
Well.
Well.
Cleo will say.
That's it, Cleo, you're doing it.
We got some leads. Well, I guess we got some leads. Yeah, what's the first port of call? What do you think we should do, Lucy?
Lucy is not there at the moment, but he will be back later.
Lucy has suddenly disappeared. I have no idea where he's gone.
So Lucy is headed over to the other two guards he was talking to earlier.
I guess we better... Let's start with the alleyway. Let's go find out what's going on there and see who's around.
Okay.
So the guys are thanking Lucy, and they're there with their drinks, just sipping away. Unfortunately, they're saying, "Look, it's our. Fortunately, it's not. We would like for you to join, but this is a serious league and so on and so forth. But maybe if you filled in forms, you could join in a couple of months when we restart. But hey ho." So
What's the leads then, if I may ask?
We've got a whole bunch of names, some people to go ask questions. There's the alleyway where the unfortunateness had happened, so we're gonna go check that out.
Which is also, if it's the same alleyway next to said establishment, crawling with guards.
Yeah, we've got access though.
Oh, right, of course you do.
Yeah. See? We could be nice.
Of course you can.
I just want to be clear that the tankard that I had for my first drink, I put into my pocket. You know what I mean? When I finished it, I kind of just put it into my pocket.
Could you do a sleight of hand? Sleight of hand check.
Oh, that was so close to being a natural 20. A 10.
So she sees you pick up the tankard and try and put it in, finish your drink, and then try and put it into your pocket, and she's like, the prude is like, that doesn't pay for itself,
Oh no, I'm not taking it. Don't worry about it. I was just wondering, like, size in comparison to my pocket. You know how it goes. I was just wondering. I would never take it. I am a respectable gentleman. I had many a drink, and I would like to think that I would steal, no matter how. Of course, here's the mug.
Have a good day, sir.
Thanks.
My apologies for my friend's behavior.
Wayne, can I ask if my thing worked?
Yes.
Cool. So Lucy will come back and go, right guys, we should go.
What did you do?
Let's just go.
Let's go to the alleyway.
You've seen Lucy talk to the barmaid and then the guards that he was talking to, waving and nodding.
What did you do?
The guy in the room did not have any cups, Jess.
A
Lucy,
group of kleptomaniacs is what we are like.
Lucy, what did you do?
I'll explain later. Let's leave. Thank you. And with that, Lucy is just going outside.
Come on, Xerath, let's go check the alleyway. And I kind of start dragging Xerath along.
She'll just like take her arm out.
Amanita, you still got your frog?
Okay, Jess, could you do a sleight of hand, please? With disadvantage, given the relative size. Can you please? Those are for the grown-ups, dear.
I want to put the froggy in it.
You put your frog in it.
She like then holds out. It's like she gets the just like, or what she did beforehand was like take the frog out, and she's like holding the frog up into her face now.
He needs a
Could you do a nature check, please?
Frog is deadly poisonous.
No, actually, animal handling. Sorry, animal handling. I'll assume you rolled the natural 20. I'll just add the modifier to it.
There we go.
Okay, fine.
It's
So you sure the
curiosity.
frog? You sure the frog? The frog doesn't jump off anyway. And she's like, "Oh, do you want to roll a persuasion check?"
I'll try.
It needs a home.
Well, unfortunately, dear, these are quite expensive. I seen you had a jar earlier. You could use the jar. The jar's probably good, yes? Just drink up some of this. It's not got a lid.
She's like, okay, guys, fine then, and hops off.
Meanwhile, one of the guards is going, "I haven't finished that pint." Here, there's drink the dregs. Right. So I'm assuming you all leave the tavern now. And head to the alleyway. Lucy, or whoever's got the coin, shows the coin to the token to the guards, and the guards let you in.
Who has the token?
I just assumed you did.
I given you the initial questions. So, the first thing you notice is the smell of urine. Obviously, some of the patrons late at night have been for a wee. You can see a pool of blood. And other than that, it's full of there's some bins and some kind of like general sticks and logs and things that are piled out there. What would you like to do?
Can we see anything that looks like it could hide something, like a weapon or anything? It's an area that's dense with stuff that we can look through.
There's the bins. There is like logs and stuff. There is just like cobblestoned ground generally. To one side there is another building, and
Is there a window on that building?
no, not on that wall.
Okay. What do you guys think? 'Cause I don't know.
But
My first thought would kind of be that we might need to check the body to find out what we are looking for, what killed it. Him. So
that's a good idea as well, actually. But I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I mean, he was killed. So if they dropped the weapon around here, he was killed by something. So anything could be.
It. Are the guards still around? Just
The guards are at the entrance to the alley.
excuse me. We're investigating the murder of the gentleman Acro, and I was just wondering if you knew of what happened to him or how he was found, of any kind of wounds or anything like that on him.
Don't know. First I've been posted here, mate.
Aye, no worries then.
think very, very, very hard. Like, maybe you've heard something. Somebody told you something.
All I know is a dwarf's been murdered.
Right.
Well, thanks anyway. I'm gonna get back to investigating. Let's turn around quickly and kind of walk back to the rest of the group. Let's just have an investigation and see what we can find. I think we need to rummage through with some bits and pieces, see if anything turns up. If they were smart, they wouldn't have left a weapon behind. So.
Okay. So what are you? What are you searching?
I'll
What
search
you-
one of like the bins or something like that.
No. Could you do an investigation check, please?
Can do. I'm literally gonna tip this thing upside down. And I find nothing with a 5.
Okay. You tip it upside down. Rubbish just goes everywhere and sprays across the alley. Some of it's landed in the pool of blood. You notice there's a sharp piece of metal, but it's covered in mud. And there is a pair of ladies' stockings. You don't find much else. They're the things you immediately find. And
Lucy will grimace and go, alright. And start looking through the rubbish as well.
Hey Lucy, I think you might like these, and I ping the stockings out.
I mean,
Could Lucy roll an investigation check, please? Sorry, no.
no.
10.
You find an empty coin purse.
Okay. Any marks on it or anything, or just an empty coin purse?
Looks as though it's leather, brown leather. It looks quite worn. It's not very big.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I'm back in just 2 seconds.
Cool.
I possibly just like walk up and down and like look in the nooks and crannies to see if there's anything on the ground.
Okay. Could you roll an investigation check, please? Don't forget you've got Korsk and you've got
Oh yeah.
Cleo.
Probably get them to
14.
check around as well.
So on the ground, next to the pile of blood, there is a branch that looks as though it's been partially broken. It's got a bend in, it's got like a snap. It's like snapped partially.
We'll probably get Korsk to have a look around as well.
Okay.
Said branch. Is it covered in blood or is it just next to it?
It looks as though it has blood on it, but it was kind of. It could have just been splashed, but. So Korsk again, similar.
Amanita's gonna fly up and just take a view from up high and investigate from above.
Okay. Could you roll for investigation, please?
Has that gone through? Yep. Yep.
In fact, could you roll with advantage? Because there is something to find that I think you would particularly notice. Okay. As you fly up, you notice in the sun something shining between two of the cobblestones.
With that, she would literally dive down and start looking on the floor where she's seen it and just like checking what it is. So from what the other guys can see, she's just on the floor without pay.
You find what looks like a slither of green glass.
With that, she's like picking it up and looking at it like.
Look,
There's
it's so shiny.
There's those, it's tiny. But it looks as though something made of green glass or crystal has smashed.
Lucy.
Yeah? You find something?
Would this be worth anything?
And she's like still like on the floor looking for some more and it's just like holding up like holding it out afterwards.
Would it be worth anything? It's shiny, but probably not.
I don't even know what it is.
It's just shiny. It's just like trying to. She's too busy looking on the floor, and she's like trying to find his hand to place it in his.
She'll be like, right, yeah, okay, great. I just want to see if. Okay. Is it recognizable to Lucy?
It's a small green splinter. You. It would be very difficult to understand what it came from.
But has he seen green glass while he's been in Catan specifically? The places he's been.
I mean, you've seen green bottles and other green things.
Specific
no.
In any of the places, because we've been to two of the places that I think two of the suspects' places We've been to magical wares and we've been to the art dealers.
Yes.
In those two places specifically, was there green glass?
So in the wondrous wares, I would imagine that some of the vials that liquids and things were in would have been green.
But nothing in the art dealers when we were there.
Nothing of note.
Because Charlie has an idea. Doesn't know if it's right or not. Do we know how he was killed?
Yeah, go to the morgue to find that out.
Okay.
Has anyone found anything yet?
Amanita found this. Slither of green glass or crystal.
I mean, wouldn't that be like a bottle?
I don't know. Lucy, it's an intelligence roll, so I'm just going to assume that he's thinking the same thing Charlie is. We did come across something recently from one of the suspects that they seem to want to get rid of pretty quickly. It had a bit of damage to it.
I don't think I was there for that.
Amanita was.
Was I?
When we went to visit the art dealer. Remember
Oh, yeah!
She had a fancy dagger that was missing. I think it was a crystal.
Wait, didn't
Theory.
Egron say he was cutting emeralds for it? If you could smash an emerald like this, then
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but if he was an emerald's green and he was making an emerald to replace the missing gemstone on this dagger, and the guy lived in the apartment above the art dealers, so if he was stabbed, I'd be leaning towards the art dealer doing it.
Could be a setup, though. Yeah, we need that is a good
Sure,
idea.
it could be.
And I do think it is plausible. However, I think we also need more evidence in that regard. Have you got any of those jars left? We could just put this little green bit in one of the jars, and
Yeah, I can do that.
that way we got it safe and secure, and we know where it is. I also found this, and I pick up the metal piece, the sharp metal piece.
Okay. Should we put that in a jar?
I don't think this will fit. Imagine it's like that.
So it could be used as a makeshift knife, or a makeshift dagger. It's about that long, and it's kind of like a metal bar that's about an inch thick, and then it's broken at the end, so it goes to a point.
But I don't know. It's pretty dirty. I don't know if it was used to kill. It's been at the bottom of the pile for a while, so I can't say it's relevant evidence.
It's up to you. I can keep a hold of it if you want.
The merrier. I'm sure it's fine.
I can wrap it in or something.
Hold on. Let me have a look. Let me see what I got in my bag. Sure, I take out one of my spare shirts and I wrap the dirty could be makeshift dagger in it and just hand it to Lucy.
Okay. In we go. Anyone found anything?
What's around the pool of blood? How fresh is that?
It started to coagulate a bit. It looks as though the murder was I think the murder was like a couple of days ago. So it looks as though there was a puddle there anyway, and then it's just kind of like, so it looks like the down blood. Yeah. So it's next. It's probably about a foot away from the wall, the far wall, the wall of the next building.
I think it might be safe to assume that our friend was probably relieving himself as he got. But I mean, he was needing to take a whiz or something, I'm sure, and was got during that time. If he's this close to the wall, or the blood pool's this close to the wall.
Possibly. What would you think? Are you trying to say he was surprised, maybe?
Yeah, sure, taken from behind.
Hmm.
I mean, we won't know until we get to the morgue, but if there's a stab wound and it's in his back, then we know that my theory is correct. If it's in the front, it means he may have turned around and confronted his attacker. Or, I don't know. If it's from the front, it opens up more questions, but I dare say he was probably coming from the tavern, had a bit too much to drink. He comes back here, tries to take a pee, and then gets stabbed in the back.
Would there be any evidence here that would indicate that your theory may be true?
I mean,
Pool of blood.
it stinks, like pee. So that's one factor.
Indeed.
Did Lucy mention that he found the empty coin purse?
Yes, he would have.
So we got the empty coin purse too, which may or may not be relevant to the situation. So it could be a mugging or something. I don't know. And then 3, if we get to the morgue and if it is a stab wound and it's on his back, then we know that he was probably up against the wall or something and was killed during that time.
Interesting theory.
But I think I don't think we're going to find much else here now. It might be worth going to the morgue to see what the body's saying at this point.
Should we do one last check around just before we leave, just in case?
I think being thorough is always a good idea, sure.
So again, Lucy will just have a look around, see if there's
I'll
anything.
help Lucy as well.
So is there anything specific that you're looking at?
The wood. We haven't checked the wood.
Okay.
So I guess you'll look at the wood.
Okay.
I'll help Lucy with that as well.
So do an investigation check.
It is my worst stat. So. Wow. Yep. Natural 1 turned to 0. Nope.
You pick up the branch that was next to the puddle, and it kind of just snaps in half as you pick it up. The rest of the pile of wood, that you don't find anything notable.
Where was these stockings?
In the bins.
In the bins.
What happened to them after I pinged them at Lucy?
Lucy
Sorry.
added you to his revenge list.
So,
Lucy still got them.
That's good.
anything else?
I think that's it. I don't think we're going to find much else now. The wood seems pretty clear to me, Lucy. I don't think we got much else going on here.
Fair enough. Guess we should try the morgue then.
Cool.
Do we know where that is?
It is in the Emperor's barracks.
Okay.
The coin will get you in there.
Best behaviour.
Make sure we don't stink a piss. Just want to throw that out there.
Lucy will have a sniff.
No more than usual.
I find lavender smells nice if you crush it and tap it on your clothes.
That's a good idea, Amanita. I'll take that into consideration.
You just smell of beer.
Beer.
Beer and whiskey.
Beer, whiskey, unwashed clothing. Yeah.
And a slight hint of... Anything else?
I think that's it. I think, yeah, plan to go to the morgue now, I think.
Okay. So you go to the morgue. They let you in to the barracks. You get introduced to the mortician. How should I describe him? Quite pale-skinned, tall, blonde hair. Think Lurch off the Addams Family. And then he even talks a bit like that. He's like, come on then. And he takes you into this room with a metal door. Table 3. You see a number of tables. Only 2 of them have got. There's like 10 tables in this room, and only two or three of them have got bodies on. 3 of them have bodies on them. The third table from the end is has a dwarf on it. The things you can tell immediately is his trousers are undone and partway down his thighs, and he is completely covered, caked in blood. His hair is matted in blood. His shirt is covered in blood. He's lying on his back.
So, I mean, his parents are down. That's one. That's +1 to my theory. But where's his? What got him? This is a question I'm directing towards the mortician. You know what kind of weapon, or if there's any wounds that just kind of describe what kind of weapon hit our friend here?
Make your own conclusion.
Guess Lucy will check out the body then. Look for a wound, if there is one.
Okay. It's fairly obvious there is a wound to the back of the head.
Is it dagger shaped? Is it like a puncture wound, or is it a...
Do a perception check, actually.
Amanita's going to jump on one of the tables and just poke one of the guys. Who's just like,
Are they sleeping?
So
No, they're dead, Amanita. They're sleeping forever, I think is a nice way of putting it. Sure.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Forever sleep. So you, Lucy,
yeah.
something's hit him on the back of the head. You can't tell what. It's quite a bit of blood. It's all caked his hair up and stuff.
Do you know what? I think maybe Korsk, he being the sort of brainy one. Maybe he'll know.
Yeah. So could he do a investigation check, please?
Investigation check. Okay. That one.
I'm so
I'm
used to it
guessing
being-
he'll probably be investigating quite intensely.
So he did a 12.
He did do a 12. So he's like, well, funny thing actually. There's a lot of blood around the front for a trauma to the back, but I guess if he fell forward, landed on his front, then maybe it was from the puddle, but there seems to be a lot of blood on his shirt.
Would the blood be at the front of his shirt if he fell? Like if he was against the ground?
Only if there's blood in the puddle already.
So the blood would have to have already been there when he fell?
That's what I would assume, yes.
Let me get this straight. He was taking a leak. Someone comes up behind him, hits him in the back of the head. He's just like, ow. He perchance cuts the fellow or hits the fellow with something. They bleed into the puddle, and then he succumbs to the hit to the back of the head. I don't know.
But would you take a piss in a puddle of blood?
It depends how dark it is.
I mean, it's
I've
quite
done
low
worse.
to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another potential title. Would you take a piss in a puddle of blood?
I mean, like, blood has a specific smell to it, and he's quite close to the ground already. I'll look to the dead body and just go, no offence. I think he'd probably know that blood was there, no?
Again, if it's a dark alleyway, you might not see it. You maybe smell it.
You can smell it, yeah.
But then if the alleyway stinks of urine already, then it might not...
But how much blood was at the scene?
I mean, it's
Carlo.
So if there's so are we saying there was another death before he got killed in that same alleyway?
Obviously, there was something that would have bled more than the head.
Lucy's just going to check the stockings. Are they covered in blood?
No.
Okay.
Has he still got his tackle?
Yes.
What? Are his trousers, like, and undergarments fully off at his ankles, or is it, like, just pulled down his trousers?
No, his trousers are around his thighs. There's always dropped them to have a wee.
Okay.
Flies not being a thing at that point in time.
Yeah. Just checking. Okay.
Perhaps we need to check the body a bit closer. Maybe
Okay.
the head isn't the only wound.
I
I
guess
rip
we'll-
on his shirt.
Okay, so you lift his shirt up and you can see a number of clean puncture wounds.
Clean?
As in something really sharp, as probably about an inch in length.
But does it look like blood came out of them?
An inch in kind of width has stabbed him. Yeah, I mean clean as in the cut is clean,
Okay.
not clean as in there's
Not
not
surrounded by blood. Okay, cool.
Lucy,
So-
can you pass me that knife, please?
Which knife?
The metal piece that I gave you.
Oh, yeah. Go. I'll take out the shirt wrapped thing and hand it to him.
Can I compare the potential spike for the makeshift knife against the puncture wounds?
Could you do medicine check, please?
I will certainly try.
It always worries me when Wayne brings out the books. Like, what? Oh, no.
I got 10, so I don't know.
The width of the bar is about the right size. You'd expect the wounds to be slightly wider, though.
What about the one at the back of the head?
Do another medicine check.
I think everyone might want to turn away from what I'm about to do, and I stab the corpse with the makeshift knife. Just like somewhere else from like where the other.
Yeah, you get the feeling that was probably a mistake because you stab it and you get a completely different. It doesn't feel like stabbing a normal person, given it's been dead for a couple of days. You don't get the same kind of things have started to coagulate and things, so you don't get the same kind of. You get a bit more resistant than you would have got otherwise. So you can kind of see that basically when you pull it back out, it starts to kind of fight against you, and you would just end up with this scraggled wound.
Can we see anything in the wounds?
They're clean. It's just somebody is stabbed.
Okay. I asked the mortician, was anything found on his body that shouldn't have been there?
No money, no coin purse, no possessions.
Okay. Varric, what about the head? Maybe you want to. There's something there.
I'll have a look.
I don't know what.
I'll take a peek at the back of the head.
You don't think the coin purse is his?
Might be, but it could be.
So you get the impression that he was hit on the back of the head by something quite large.
Like a big piece of wood, or
Potentially. It has fractured his skull.
Has it left anything in there?
Not when Varric looked earlier. You didn't notice anything. You could have a look.
Okay. I will. So what do you want me to roll?
Investigation.
Oh. Come on, natural 20. No.
It's good though.
You find splinters of rotting wood.
Rotting wood. Okay. Was the wood, well, I rolled too low to find it, but I guess, but the wood back of the alley, was it rotting? The branch that sort of just broke off in my hand, is that why?
It was an old branch. It wouldn't have normally have broken that easily, you think.
Okay.
Can I investigate the wood? Seeing as she would know a bit about the wood.
The splinters, yeah. Can do.
What would you like me to roll?
Investigation. Or you could go back. Actually, nature. Do nature.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do nature instead, because that was better. There you go.
Yeah, it certainly looks like splinters of a branch.
So that might have been the murder weapon? Or that
So,
might have
well-
knocked him out.
Yeah, so I think what's happened here is, like I said, our friend's gone to relieve himself. He's gone through the alleyway. Someone's come up behind him, smacked him in the head with a bit of wood. He's gone unconscious, fallen back, bleeding from the head a bit, and then someone has taken the chance to stab him in the gut several times, and then flip him over, take his coin purse, empty it out, throw it in the trash, and then leave. That's just my guess.
It's a good theory, but
What about two different crimes?
So,
And what if someone knocked him out and robbed him? And someone else maybe was watching him or was with him took the opportunity to stab him?
that's true. Yeah, no, I can see that being the case. If you're going to mug someone, I don't imagine you'd kill them once you got what you wanted. But that's
Yeah. It's a harsher
Yeah.
crime, so yeah. And then if he was mugged and you just found him knocked out, then the mugger might get blamed, but
interesting theory.
I don't know.
What if the killer was a magic user like me and uses plant stuff to stab him with?
Yeah.
we might have found evidence of that though. If there was other plants growing out the walls and stuff. I don't know if they disappear after you've used them or not, but
But rotting plants?
yeah.
Is that a magic thing? Or is it maybe just something they found in the alley?
Would
I mean, aren't the houses made of wood?
Maybe, yeah.
I would imagine that just like a necrotic damage to flesh results in rotting flesh, I would imagine necrotic damage to wood would lead to rotten wood. However, from what I could see at the branches in the alleyway, they seemed to be naturally rotten. It was old wood that had come from some sort of tree that had been chopped up. I would wonder if there are any further clues, given the theory that Varak has said, that could indicate whether or not he was hit on the back of the head while he was having his wee. And what would there be some sort of clue in the alleyway that we've maybe missed?
Oops, sorry, wrong one. That was meant to be intelligence, but never mind. Was there a pile of fresh piss there?
There was certainly wee, but I don't think it would be that fresh a couple of days later, would it? But I think his trousers being down is enough to indicate that he was surprised while he was having a wee. It's just whether or not he was hit on the back of the head at that point, whether or not he was having a wee afterward.
But maybe, well, I wouldn't want to stab someone in the gut while they're taking a wee, and then hit them in the back of the head anyway. Just to, I don't know.
Can we check to see if his bladder's empty?
Can we just give him a little squeeze to see if any liquid comes out?
It's like the mortician's like, bladder and bowels. Empty.
Amanita is going to ask him,
Was there any green shiny stuff when he was brought in?
know.
I don't
Perhaps-
know what else we could do.
Maybe we need to talk to the people on the Council of the Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. There's a few theories in my head. I don't know which one could be right.
I would say we've certainly got a working theory on, or multiple working theories on how the crime was committed, but I guess we need to find a motive.
Who should we speak to first?
Who did our employer say was with Akron at the time?
No, but he did not say.
Did not say.
We never asked the barmaid. Like what was her name? Pruda?
Yeah, we never asked her.
She saw him with anyone?
Nah, it might be worth checking that up.
Right. Okay.
Now, I think, I don't know, just because we need to cover multiple areas and multiple sources, but then we're also under other pressures to stay together. But I was thinking maybe we should split up. One of us goes talks to the. Well, I don't know.
Really
That might be a
talk
bad
to the
idea.
art dealer. Really want to talk to the art dealer. Just because he lived there. He lived there.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody came by. I don't know.
So far as I could tell, there was only one flat above
Yeah.
the art dealers.
And somebody lives there.
Yes, I recall a neat pile of stuff in the corner. It looked a little out of place.
We could go check with Egro and see if he would mind us looking through it. I don't mind going there if somebody else wants to go somewhere else.
I'll check up with the Pruda, see what she's saying.
Cool. Just to say, if anyone asks for me, don't say anything.
Alright, no worries.
Cool.
I hope I don't get pulled into any nonsense.
I can't promise that.
Who's going with who then?
I think it's just a fair choice. Lucy, do you want to take...
I can take Corsic if you want.
you can take Corsic and maybe Xerith, they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Then you want to take Cleo and Amanita?
Yeah? You guys want to come with me?
Wayne, I don't like that face. Don't pull that face. don't do that. Okay.
I'll check with Pruda, see what they're saying. And you can check with... Wait. Did we get stones? Falcon stones?
I have one, but it goes back. It goes to somebody on a different continent.
Right.
Oh, I might be able to do something. I've got to just check. Did I have?
Need to get like a poster made up of the DM smiles and what to be aware of.
Can I just say, like, Pruda is in the pub that you are currently next to.
I thought we went to the morgue. Is that close as well?
Yeah, you're right. You're in the morgue. You're right. Sorry, you are in the morgue.
Yeah, and I don't really want to go back to the pub.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I could disguise myself, but it's it'd be pointless if the whole group went.
Okay. So, Nels just said that Xerith's gone to speak to gone to Wondrous Wares.
Okay, I guess me and Corsic will... Oh, okay, I guess we're going to the art dealers.
Would they have known that since I've been waiting outside?
Since you've been waiting outside,
Oh,
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the morgue. I didn't go into the morgue.
Oh, did you not? Is that what you said?
Yes, I remember you typing that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you've gone off somewhere. It's people sending me messages and me not keeping track of messages because I'm
Yeah, it's
trying
fine.
the thing as well as doing.
Don't worry.
I just need people to tell me when they send me stuff. If I don't spot it. So, I would say. So should we switch to Zirith then? So you've headed into Wondrous Wares. You're in the kind of waiting. You're in the lobby area, the viewing area. You go in and you hear a rumble of thunder as you walk in, and then there is a blue smoke. And Hugo Powcurse is stood there. Hello, welcome to Wondrous Wares. How may I assist you today?
Conversation, really.
A
New to this-
conversation.
Yes. New to the city. See what information you have to hold.
Information.
I'll like
valuable.
wander. I'll walk around. Is there any shelves like around the shop, or is it just?
It is just literally a viewing
The-
thing.
It's quite interesting that you don't have your wares on display, don't you think?
Well, you see, people have sticky fingers. I'd prefer to control what my clientele inspect. Of course, a lady like you, though, is with very fine dress. I would imagine that you would be in the utmost of our clientele. I would say, would you be interested in some of our wares, perhaps?
Information first, then we'll see if I want some wares. How about that?
Very good. What sort of information are you?
Well, there is rambles, I guess, through the city. You know, that somebody was unalived due to connections, and your name came up in discussion, and I was wondering if you knew anything. I want to say that you weren't involved.
Involved in what, my dear?
I don't know. Unaliving someone next to a pub.
Oh. Yes, Acro. Poor soul. Well, yes, it's a shame. Life just wasn't going well for him. I'd been helping him, actually, trying to find a new property for him to move into. He seemed quite in a hurry to move.
Any specific reason why?
He didn't say. I would say also that, that evening, Acro was involved in quite a debate with Upcut and Kuma. Of course, Acro took Kuma's side. You could say they're in bed together in more than one.
Interesting. And your side of the story?
Me? I'm just a member of the council. Weapons, arms deals aren't really my bag. I tend to deal in more unique items. I have my own talents to help the Brotherhood, but tends to be more things that will maybe help them in business and negotiations, or spot potential thieves, perhaps. Those sorts of things, I mean, I do weapons, but I can't do, say, 3,000 of a particular item. Magic items take a lot of effort to make. You understand what I mean?
Of course. Fair enough. Do I believe it?
Do an
That
insight.
he says he's not like, yeah. 80.
You get an impression he's a bit of a gossip, but relatively harmless. Other than that, believe him. He kind of bigs himself up in terms of his ability and things like that, but...
Okay. Alright. Well, I'm sure to come back for some wonderful items, or wondrous items, like you will. And I'll say that with like a little roll eye. But that's
Well,
all for now.
The pleasure will be all mine. And yes. Please do come back. I would be interested in seeing whether or not we've got something that will suit a gracious lady such as yourself.
Shake my head and walk out.
And then the blue smoke goes up and he disappears again, leaving the rumble of thunder of the doorbell as the door closes. So, where else are we going? Should we go to the pub next? So Varric. And who else is with you, Varric?
Amity and Cleo.
Okay. All walk into the pub. There he is. There's one of them now. Where is he?
Who?
Your red friend.
Red friend?
Yeah. Said he'd buy us a drink. Put it on our tab. Twice.
Do you think all Dragonborn look the same?
Apart from the colours, yeah.
Well, that's mighty racist of you. That, I have no idea who you're talking about, nor do I appreciate that comment.
Well,
So excuse me.
it's a bit strange because you also had an elf with tattoos, and they also had a whatever she is with them.
Grab, we're come from races where we kind of look similar, but you can't just distinguish. This gentleman here is only 50 years old. He's not that old. And he's got, I mean, his tattoos, I don't know what kind of tattoos you're on about.
Yeah, tattoos. The tattoos that are linked to my tribe, and they symbolize quite a thing. They are quite unique. Well, if they're unique, it was you guys then.
They're probably from the same tribe. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the same dude.
No, my tattoos are unique. They. This one, and he's pointing to the silver one. This one represents the moon and the lunar cycle. And he starts going down the hall, kind of explaining about it, what his tattoos mean. And the guy just starts ignoring him as he's going on. You better not be lying to me, and it sounds like you are. That friend of yours owes us 20 gold.
All right. I can see where this is going. I will ensure that this 20 gold gets paid off one way or another. Is that good enough for you?
How about a down payment to show good faith?
Sure, but I'll make it to the barkeep, not you.
That would be acceptable.
Hey, Pruda, here is 10 gold for the gentleman's drinks over there.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's 1 round out of the 5 done.
Yep. They'll,
Why? You said it was only 2. No, he put another 5. He paid for his friend's drinks as well on your tab.
It's okay. Me and Froggy will pay for it.
No, Amadita, you keep your money. How much is that? 5?
So it would be 20 for it. So it would be 20 for the gentleman's and 30 for yours.
Alright. Sure. Yep, 50 gold. Here. There it is. On the table. Now, gentlemen, we are squared away. I do not want to see your faces anymore, so leave me be.
Well, at least you have some honor after all, unlike your friend. Come on, let's finish our game, and then go down and continue playing dice.
Amanita, can you remind me to make sure I beat Lucy when I get to see him next?
Oh, that's not very nice.
No. It's all fun and games, believe me.
Oh, is a game?
Yeah.
Can I play?
Just be careful you don't end up like Yinran. His hair is in the bad side of Lucy.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have hair, so that works out in my favor.
Well, we kind of had that debate the other day. Technically, you do, but I would imagine he would blunt his razor trying to shave you.
Theo, you gave us away there, and I would appreciate it if you remained silent for the remainder of this duration. Buddha, my dear.
The man was decent. The man was... He was...
Cleo, you could have just
He was a
pretended
friend
to be
of my
mute.
cry, but my... No. It is dishonorable to not talk about the uniqueness of my tattoos.
Of course, I do understand that they hold significance to you. However, I am now 60 gold pieces short of what I was when I walked into this establishment because you started talking about your unique tattoo. So I can understand that, but you can surely understand my frustration at my current predicament.
I would indicate that perhaps if Lucy hadn't done the crime in the first place, then we wouldn't have had to spend that time paying the lady.
Yep. Pruda.
Now,
We are friends, or were friends of a certain gentleman named Akron that came in here. Unfortunately, he was taken from us too soon, and is
Yes.
now...
business start.
Yeah. I'm sure you've had people come in and ask you already, but just for my own records, I need you to answer a couple questions, if that's okay.
Yes, although I didn't know him well. He was a member of the Brotherhood of Builders, and he used to have a drink after the meetings, but other than that, I don't really know him.
That's fine. Can you tell me if he was generally liked by the members of the Brotherhood?
Well, he had his allies. I wouldn't say he was particularly hated by anybody. Yeah, he certainly had his allies.
And anybody he mentioned maybe once or twice having a certain disagreement with or anything like that?
Well, there were rumors.
Oh,
It'd really be my place to say, but yes, there was a particular relationship he had that I feel was potentially could lead in vengeance if knowledge of said relationship was known.
Now, I understand that you're trying to tiptoe around the water and such. This is for an official investigation, and I would appreciate it if you could just come forward with the facts. This is something I've not heard of.
Could you roll persuasion, please?
That's pretty good. 22.
Fine. He was, let's just say, him and the sergeant of the guard, the Kuma Snatchcopper, they were having a intimate relationship, which is fine, and you know, I mean, if they do what they do with their but unfortunately, Kuma is married with a number of children, so I would hazard a guess that maybe if Kuma's wife discovered the relationship, she may have motive. Unfortunately, that's the only thing I'm aware of.
That's mighty helpful. That in itself is great information, and I will be sure to let my colleagues know. Can you tell me, when he came in here last, did you see him come with anybody?
No, just the rest of the council.
And when he left, did the council leave with him as well?
Did he leave with him? Well, he didn't leave, did he? He went to the toilet. By all accounts.
But the toilet being in the alleyway next door.
Yeah, some of the council had made their way away. Had headed off by then.
Anyone leave with him at the same time? Just if you remember at all?
I can't remember. It was busy in the pub on. Busy in the bar. Generally, it is on council nights because you get a lot of people, a lot of members putting things to the council. You see, so you end up with quite a lot of members in the bar, and it gets busy. So it's difficult to keep an eye on everyone. But I certainly remember seeing him heading out the door, to go and relieve himself. Well, I assumed he was going to relieve himself. Certainly, if he was found in the alleyway, then I guess.
I mean, I can say for certain that he did relieve himself. It's just unfortunate that he did get to make it back after he did.
Yes, indeed. Awful shame.
I'm trying to think. Amanita, you got any questions for our friend here, Huda? Or
Amanita is, you will see, nowhere to be seen. She's over the other end of the bar talking to one of the soldiers, frog in hand, holding it out. And all you can see is one of the soldiers leaning forward. And then he seems to give the frog a kiss and then sits back down.
I don't want to know what's going on over there, Cleo. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure she's got it figured out. Cleo, do you have any questions for Pruda?
What do you know what the council were talking about on the evening of the murder? No. We're not privy to the meetings, I'm afraid. They take place in one of our back rooms, but other than to serve drinks during breaks, we don't deal with their business. We don't have a say in their business or an ear to the ground or anything, I'm afraid, so that would not help. Interesting. That's all he's asking.
Cool. Well, that's great. I need to go collect my lady friend over there. If you'll excuse me just very quickly. Obviously, Jess is waiting.
Yeah. So you see Amanita, she's offering the frog to another one of the guards. Who then
What you doing?
kisses it. And the two guards that have done the kissing are kind of looking at each other going, is this a thing?
With that, she'll then skip off and see Varric again.
Oh, hello, Varric.
Hey, Manita, what are you doing?
I wanted to test to see if it was true.
I'm positive the story says you need a prince, and I'm certain neither of those gentlemen are princes. It's worth a shot, though.
I mean, they did kiss it, so
I mean, yeah, that was pretty funny.
I did trick him into saying it would give him good luck.
Oh.
That might be why it didn't work.
Maybe.
I thought it was the princess and the frog, not the prince. So maybe you need to find the princess.
Oh, you're right, Leo. Excuse me, yeah.
I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
It's just like dangling.
Lucy Jr., avert your eyes. Do not look at your brother now. I'm sure it's a boy frog.
You're a druid. You should know these things.
I know. That's why I was going to investigate now. She's investigate. She didn't bother to look before.
You discover it is a male frog.
Hey, Cleo, what gender's my frog?
I would say female.
Great. Good thing we keep them
That's where
separate.
the flex are. Maybe the flex give you the answer.
Oh.
I used the wrong frog.
I am keeping Lucy Jr. with me at all times. I am sorry, Amanita, but you are not getting a hold of Lucy Jr.
Maybe the frog is of that persuasion.
I should certainly hope not, Cleo. That is perhaps a step too far.
Frogs can be gay too.
I was on about people and frogs, not gay frogs. Anyway, moving swiftly on from this frog talk, I think we should inform the others, what our findings are.
Indeed. Let's hop to it.
Can you turn into a frog, Cleo? Just out of absolute curiosity.
I could if I wanted to.
Pretty cool.
Right.
I just want to record something. Would I have even known that Wondrous Wares was part of the thing, as I was not in the room?
I imagine we'll have told it to you on the way to the morgue in the elevator.
Yeah, okay.
I'd imagine you were filled in.
Okay.
There's a lot of time we didn't cover.
Okay.
So it is 25 to 7.
Cool.
Where was Lucy at this point in time?
Let's go to the art dealers with
Right.
just with Korsk, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we pick up there next week then.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Cool.
What a disaster of an investigation so far.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe. We fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
Hi, Jess.
Yeah, just trying to get my camera to work.
It's all right. It's all right. And I see Charlie's on the call at least. So,
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Jess. Hello, Cameron.
listening. I'll be back in a second.
hello.
Have you got out of the bath again?
I was going to say he's mistimed his shower today. Now he'll quickly wet his hair and then turn up with a towel on his head.